Hey everybody, my name is Jerry and I'm glad you could join me. Today we're talking about the 2017 through 2019 Suzuki GSX-R1000R. We're going to talk about lean angle. Now, is there a way to actually display the lean angle on the motorcycle? Well, yeah, there is, and I'm going to show you how to do that. That's coming up right now. Okay guys, we're going to talk about the leanometer, which is a device that shows us our lean angle when we're riding on the motorcycle. And today we're going to show you how to mount it on the motorcycle. At least how I'm going to go about mounting it on the motorcycle. A pretty cool device. When you lean over, it registers your lean angle and then displays it on the display. It also measures G-forces like under braking and things like that. But basically, for the most part, I'm going to be using it for lean angle. Now, for the way that I'm doing this build, you're also going to need this little kit right here. And this is by, let's see, who is this by? Ultimate Add-ons, motorcycle fork stem attachment. Now for the 2017 through 2019 Suzuki GSX-R1000, the 1000 ABS and 1000R, the yoke on the triple clamp is 15 to 17 millimeters, so make sure you get this size for this bike. Okay. Now I'll take this out of here in a minute. It's basically 5 different components that make up this kit. Okay, because we're gonna have to take this apart. So for now, though, let's look at the leanometer. What comes in a leanometer box? Obviously, some instructions on how to set it up when you first put it on the bike. Okay. Here you have the display. Okay. All right. It's got 3 buttons along the bottom. All right. And you have the USB cable in here, so you can hook that up to your computer if you're going to do some logging. Download your logging. Okay, some handlebar clip-ons depending on the type of motorcycle you're dealing with. A little strip of Velcro, some mounting bolts, and this is the part we're pretty much going to be using. This comes as 2 pieces, the bottom, and this little slide-in plate. You just screw it into the bottom. I already did that because I've been monkeying around with it. And the leanometer, the way it's designed on the bottom here, okay, it has a little groove there, and if I can get it in the camera, it's kind of hard to tell. A little groove right here, and it slides into this. Okay, so let's see if I can do this one-handed here. I don't know if I can, but try. Hear that? That's it. It clips right in. So on your motorcycle, it looks like that, right? It's pointing up towards you. Otherwise, it'd be sitting like that. You wouldn't be able to see it, right? Okay. So pretty cool. And you'll notice that on the bottom there's 2 holes. I already drilled these holes. Okay. So what we're going to do next is go into the shop, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to end up mounting this on the motorcycle. Okay, so now we're in the shop, and you'll notice this is the Yolk Kit. Basically, you tighten this down the yoke through tightening this Allen hex head type bolt, and these 2 pieces separate out like you see them here, and they tighten inside the yoke head. Okay, it works pretty good. I've already tried it. But we're going to take this apart. It's basically 5 pieces. You notice over here I drew a square. This is a piece of aluminum, pretty big piece of aluminum, but I'm just going to cut out a little piece here. This is about a little more than 3/8 thickness here, about 0.4 of an inch. You can get these online. I know some of you don't have a shop to do things like cutting up. This is aluminum plate. So I may, if anybody's interested, after you look at this whole video and you want this build and you just want this little adapter plate, let me know. And maybe I don't normally do this, but maybe I'll sell this adapter plate if anybody's interested. Okay, so you'll notice I got the leanometer here with this little adapter slide on in the bottom. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this apart. So give me a second and I'll switch the camera here for a moment. Alright, so here's that same exact kit that's taken apart. There's 5 pieces to it. The long bolt. There's a flat washer here with a little indentation. This black top piece is made of like a hard plastic. This is where you normally would mount like your GoPro camera. For those that usually get this kit, they mount their GoPro camera or whatever their camera on this ball, okay? And then these are the 2 pieces, aluminum pieces that go down to the yoke, down into the stem. Okay, we're not going to use this for this build, so I'm just going to put it back in the box. So we're not going to use it. Okay. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to drill a hole right where these two lines cross. Now, this square here, or rectangle here, is the exact same size as the rectangle of this plate on the bottom. It comes with the linometer. So I just put it on top of there without this on there, obviously, and just drew the rectangle. Okay, a little marker. A little marker like that, a little permanent marker, okay? Now, the shank, or the threaded part of this bolt, is about 3/8. Okay, a little bit smaller, it's metric, but 3/8 will work. So you'll see here the golden drill bit I have is 3/8. And then the head of this bolt, the diameter of that's a little over 1/2 inch. So we're going to go ahead and use a 1/2 inch, and then we may have to just file out the hole a little bit. So what I'm going to do is start with the 3/8 and drill a hole right here where these two lines cross all the way through the aluminum, okay? That'll allow this bolt to drop through the aluminum but stop at the head, okay? Kind of like that. The next thing we do is come back with the 1/2 inch, drill a hole in the middle again, but only go down about maybe 2/3 of the way or 3/4 of the way through the aluminum plate. We don't want to go all the way through. The reason for that is it's going to allow us to center the threaded piece right at this cross point, okay? And it's going to allow for this head to be countersunk into aluminum and not fall all the way through. Because we want this head to be flush with the top of the aluminum plate so that when we go to mount this on top of there, the head's not interfering with the bottom of this, you follow me? And then these two holes I have here, I already drilled previously with this plastic. You can drill this really easy with a hand drill, okay? Those two holes right there, and there, I'm going to go ahead and make my marks on this aluminum, and then I'll probably drill and tap those holes so we can stick some bolts through these two holes here, and guess what? Boom, we're going to have a permanently mounted linometer right where we want it on the motorcycle, okay? So let me head over to the motorcycle real quick and I'll show you where that actually gets mounted. Okay, now we're over at the motorcycle, and this is the 2017 Suzuki GSX-R1000R Sweet Ride, and you can see right here the triple clamp nut, right? And there's a big old hole here that goes all the way down through the upper and lower triple clamp attached through this hole in the frame of the motorcycle, okay? So that's the nut that goes around it, and that kit that we showed with the ball on it, the two aluminum pieces that screw onto that long bolt, they go right down to this hole, okay? That aluminum piece, we're going to put a little piece of rubber on the bottom of it so we don't scratch up the nut, and we're going to mount that square aluminum piece right here on top of this hole, okay? And then the linometer will be right here centered on the motorcycle, okay? Pretty cool, right? Okay guys, normally it would be good to take this over to like a mill and just have the mill cut along this line, or even in metal shops they have cut off wheels, and you just cut off this piece and rough cut on the edge. I don't have a mill, I don't have a cut off wheel, or cut off saw, or what we also call a chop saw. Chop saws are really nice, they're really good. I don't have any of those, but what I do have is a grinder, okay? And a grinder will get this done. So this is a Makita, really nice grinder. Makita grinder. Had this for quite a while. And the grinder will work fine as long as you just use some safety. Wear some gloves. I wear a leather apron. Make sure you wear some safety glasses. I even wear earplugs. This thing's kind of loud. Okay, and you might want to have a little fan blowing when you're cutting, just so the fumes will come off the aluminum when you're cutting. They get heated up. You just want to blow them away from you so you're not smelling them, right? And you want to put yourself let me see if I can get the camera to focus on this. There you go, metal cutoff. So this is a 4-inch metal cutoff wheel, or right? See how thin it is? Okay, I think I got this cutoff blade or wheel at Lowe's, I think, two to a pack or something like that. So I'll just cut along this line a little on that, slightly on the outside of this line. Same thing over here. Then I'll just probably take a file and just clean up the edges real quick, and then we'll take it over to our little drill press over there, right? A little dinky drill press. If I can get the camera to work with me here, there you go, drill press, right? Just stick it on there, and drill some holes. All right, there you go, guys. You can see I have a big old school anvil sitting on top of this piece of aluminum.
I just got done using the grinder, and you can see it's been cut out. Not exactly a thing of beauty, but we got it done. And there's a piece of aluminum right there sitting on top of a vise, just cooling off, because aluminum does cool off pretty quick, but this is still pretty hot because I had to grind on it for quite a while to cut it off. So we're going to let that cool, and then we'll come back, put it on the drill press, drill our holes. Yep, pretty simple. Nice, worked out really good. Okay, so you can see I've got the clamp on there. I've got the bit centered right where I want it. Right. So now we have the hole drilled, and we can see that this diameter is going to go through there no problem. Okay, the bit's kind of in the way, but I can already tell it's not a problem. It's going to go through there. So now we're going to come back with the 1/2 inch and drill through most of this thickness, maybe about 0.7 of an inch. Alright, so at this point, hopefully we have a deep enough hole on the 1/2 inch. Okay, so we ran a file on a Dremel tool, and it's a little bit rough, but we don't really care because it's not going to be seen anyway. So we have a countersunk hole. Let's see if the bolt will go through the center hole and the head countersinks enough to make this happen. Let's see what we get. Okay. Not bad. Right? Let's see if that's down enough for the leanometer to sit on top of this. Turn the fan off for a second. It's about 95 degrees in here tonight. Fahrenheit, that is. Yeah, so it looks pretty good, right? Sitting on there flush, looks good. You can see the little hole right there. And we're going to go ahead and drill and tap for that. And just go, maybe halfway into the aluminum plate. Okay, so there we are. For those of you that want to know, what is this going to look like when you put it all together? You're going to get rid of this piece, get rid of the little washer that comes with this section. Okay, you can see there's one bolt and two pieces, right? Okay. On the top, you've got the plate we just made, right? Countersink head. And this part, right here, will go down into the neck of the triple clamp, right down the center. And this will bolt right on top of it like that, okay? Right? Remember the little holes we have right there? Right, the two little holes. See the little light shining through the hole right there? Okay. So we still got to drill and tap a hole somewhere over here and somewhere over here, okay? Okay, next thing we're going to do is we are going to take this bolt out of the adapter plate, and we're going to drill it like I talked about before, here and here. And you can see right there I got two little bolts. Those are 3mm bolts. These are 3mm by 0.5 thread pitch. Okay, and they're about 10mm long. Now to do that, we need a tap. So this is a tap here. You can see this tap. Okay, so what we call a plug tap. This is 3mm by, what do you know, 0.5 mm thread pitch to match our bolts. Okay, now of course these, you can't just self tap into the aluminum with this, so we need a drill bit. Now this drill bit actually calls for, and it'll even say right on there, usually say right on there, see that says, yeah, use bit 39. Okay, but I didn't have one of those local. I didn't feel like waiting for it to order. So a 3/32 is going to be really close for the diameter of the hole we need to drill. It's going to be a little bit undersized, but we're talking about maybe 6/1000ths of an inch difference between a 39 and this bit. So this bit will work. Pretty sure will be okay with this bit. And so that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to put this little piece of aluminum plate on the drill bit, on the drill press. We'll put this right here. Mark up our first hole, right? Mark up one of these two holes on there. Drill the hole, tap the hole, and then we'll do the other one. Okay, that's what we're going to do next. And I went ahead and got myself some black paint. because we want to paint, when we're all said and done, I'm going to clean up the aluminum a little bit. I don't have any acetone, so I'll probably just wipe this down really good with some alcohol, and a little bit of water and alcohol, and we should be good. Should be okay. And then we'll put some paint on there so it matches my triple clamp on my bike is black, because even though you won't see the top, you will be able to see the side, and I really don't want the aluminum shining out on the side. So just for some finishing touches, we want it to work really well, and we want it to look good too, right? Okay, I just want to show you a hand tapping process that I use for stuff like this. This particular tap is really tiny, okay? So taps are made of brittle material. They can break real easy. Their hardness is needed to cut through material. Now this is only aluminum, but it's really very thin diameter. So the material the tap is made of and the brittleness of it is always a concern when you're trying to tap. You can easily break taps, you can snap them. Okay, so at this point you can see the tap is actually made through the bottom. This is not a blind tap, this is all the way through tap. Blind tap would be you'd end up somewhere in the middle of the material. In this case, we've gone all the way through because we want to go through. Okay, so now before we go any further, before we drill and tap to the hole, we want to check if this is right. There's an old saying, measure twice, cut once. So let's see if all this is going to come together, okay? So this go through here with our countersunk hole, right? That's going to go down into the neck, right? And those components right there, these two components, would go underneath here, down into the triple clamp neck. Okay, so that part so far looks good. Okay, so far looking good, right? Let's see, I got this started. Let's see if it goes all the way through. Threads are matching up really nice here. Okay, give myself a little hex head wrench. That's a little tight up against the side, but nothing stopping me from threading it in anyway. Okay, indentation on the side, right underneath. It goes in there. It goes right in there. Okay. Okay. Not always easy doing all this stuff one-handed. That's all right. Let's see if we get this started left-handed. Can we get it started left-handed? Oh yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Let's switch hands here. Let's get the screwdriver involved here. Okay. This bad boy all the way down in there. A little reflection going on here. Looking good so far. Okay, and I'll probably throw a little Loctite on that too when I get finalize all this. Right? You know, when you're riding hard, you want this stuff rattling loose. Removable Loctite, right guys? We don't put the permanent stuff on there because you never know, you gotta take it off. Okay. So far I'm really liking this. Okay, now let's see if the linometer will it slide on there. Look at that, that's how it's gonna sit in the bike. Okay, bolt's gonna go down into the neck. Those two components in there will tighten up and spread out a little bit and tighten it up into the neck, which I already tested that. Okay, one more hole to drill and tap on this side. And look at that, guys, how sweet. It's gonna sit right on top of the bike. Nice. I'm gonna show you guys a little trick that I do sometimes. Not really a trick, but something just make life easier on yourself when you're drilling and tapping something. I've already got the workpiece, right? The workpiece is the aluminum plate, right? And I already got what I intend to mount on top of that, you know, halfway mounted, right? There's another hole. Now what a lot of people do is they'll take a marker and mark that hole through there, or they'll take a punch and punch the center of that hole, then take this over to the drill press and drill it. A lot of times they're not exactly dead center, and when they come back and after they tapped it, they realize, oh damn, it doesn't match up perfectly with the hole in this, and I can't get the screw in there or the bolt in there. So what I'll do a lot of times, if it's possible, not always possible, in this case it is, grab yourself a hand drill, okay, put your bit in there, and at the very least start your hole. And then if it's some stainless or a big piece of steel and you don't want to hand drill the whole thing, at least start it. Just mark it with your hand drill. Then take it over to your drill press and finish it off. In this case, a piece of aluminum, I just finished it all right here on the bench with the hand drill. Okay, that's a lot easier when you already have it halfway mounted like this, instead of guessing where your hole's going to be. All right. Okay, now I'm just getting started here, And this is really a critical time. The tap's just sitting in the hole. I haven't even started tapping yet, okay? So when you're getting ready to tap, you know, getting this tap centered in the hole is by far the hardest part when you're doing it by hand. Because it can lean to the right, it can lean to the left, it can lean away from you, it can lean towards you. Okay, so you constantly, your first, 10 turns or so, until the threading really starts to take hold, you really got to watch that you're dead center over the hole. Excuse the fan, it's hot today. Well, there you go, guys. Look at that beautiful mount. Wow. Firm, too, guys. Thing is on there rock solid. I still got to get some rubber to go underneath here before I put it on the bike, because I don't want to scratch up the triple clamp nut. Okay. Looks really good. Look at this. Mounted on there nice and firm. That baby's not going anywhere. Sweet. Oh yeah. Nice 38-degree lean around that corner. Pretty sweet, right? I like it. Nice, nice, nice. Huh. Okay. All right, I like that. Monster machine. Oh my goodness, monster machine. So a pretty cool device. That's going to help me understand not only my lean angle on this motorcycle, but how I go about doing it, and body position. How does the bike handle at given lean angles? How are the tires? Kind of feedback am I getting from the motorcycle at given lean angles, stuff like that. So you can start adjusting your motorcycle a little bit if you feel like the lean angles, I mean, the bike is capable of 50-degree lean angle, probably, it's somewhere in that area. It may be fractionally more, 51, but for a street bike, super stockish kind of bike, 50-degree lean angle is probably reasonable. Anything above that, you're getting a little bit risky. You got to make sure your bike is set up for lean angles greater than that. So right there, let's see what it registers there. 47-degree lean angle. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, easily it did 47 degrees. I didn't even feel like I was having to push. Nice. Oh yeah. Oh, that's the same. That's the exact same hill I did in the last video. I don't know what it is. You have your favorite little spots where things just come together. That little hill right there, I can just pop the wheelie and ride it all the way down the hill. I don't know why.
Well, that was pretty cool, guys. I was a little bit surprised. 47-degree lean angle. You know, I didn't think I was going to be leaning the bike that much. You know, 50-degree, 52-degree lean angle is kind of the max, I would suspect, on kind of a super stockish bike out on the street. Any more than that, I personally feel like you're kind of pushing it. So that was pretty cool, 47-degree lean angle. I feel pretty good about that. Had a really great time. Of course, some really good wheelies. Things just keep getting better and better in that area. Going to keep on improving little by little. Hope everybody's really enjoying their summer, having a great time. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, guys, go ahead and click that Texas flag right there. And over my head, here's a playlist. Click on that if you want to watch any of the videos on this awesome motorcycle. And you know what, guys? Make sure you're logged in. Make sure you click subscribe. Then click that little bell, and you'll get notified of all the videos when they come out. And until next time, guys, we'll see you right back here again real soon.